things. There will always be so many things to think about. There will always be so many things to talk about. And one of those things people are talking about in the country is what we'll also be looking at on the Citizens Forum this morning, Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM. Well, usually in Nigeria, people will say to me, it's only 1 year that you have for government. So the first year, that's when you try to settle down. Perhaps half of the other year after that, you begin to seek or campaign or do things aimed at re-election or election, electing somebody that will succeed you. Unfortunately, the change mantra that people thought will give Nigeria a new face. Well, you would say, well, it brought some new things, change, but not in the direction in which so many Nigerians did expect will come from. Right from the onset, June 2015, when the Senate was to be inaugurated, crisis began from one point to the other between the executive, the legislative, and as we speak, it appeared it is not abating. This is what we'll be looking at this morning on the Citizens Forum. Dele, Ayodo is my name.
And I am Tobi, Joseph, just like I hinted earlier, and of course Adela has also touched. It is very pertinent that both the executive and legislative arm of government, though complementary and at the same time carry out checks and balances on each other's functions, it is very important that they work together for the good of the people to make sure that dividends of democracy reach the doorsteps of Nigerians and they enjoy good governance. But since the inception of this administration of the All Progressives Congress APC, it's been from one particular rancor, one particular fight, one particular controversy to the other. Of course, it is no longer a news, or let's say it is still news, that the APC were not comfortable with the margins of Senate President Bukola Saraki and Yakubu Dogara, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, as leaders of the National Assembly. But it seemed that that had simmered down and they were already moving forward in working together after so many meetings between the President and the two leaders of the National Assembly. And fast forward to late last year, Mr. President traveled for some vacation and medical attention, and then everything simmered down, and then some kind of smooth work relationship ensued afterwards. But on his return, some people are insinuating that it has been from one particular issue to the other, from the issue of Magu to the issue of Hamid Ali to the issue of the SGF, Babachi Lawal, who was also summoned by the committee headed by Senator Shehu Sani to come and answer questions on misappropriation of funds meant for the rehabilitation of victims of Boko Haram and, of course, the northeastern region. Who was alleged to have awarded contracts to himself, cutting grass and all whatnot in some IDP camps. And he had to go to court to say that because the matter is now sub judice, he cannot appear. So all this has actually heightened tension, not only the polity, but it has created more friction between these two arms of government that are supposed to work together for the common goal of bringing dividends of democracy to the people. Don't forget that 2017 budget is still in limbo in the National Assembly. Nigerians are wondering, we are now in the month of March, when exactly are the lawmakers going to begin total reconciliation of figures and of course of project therein in 2017 budget after committees must have worked on it. So that implementation of the project therein the 2017 budget will begin in earnest and there will be some more money in circulation as regards execution of capital projects, which will also rejig the economy and get the country back on a solid footing. All this we are going to look at this morning. Should there be more continuous frost relationship between the two arms? Should it be more rancorous than it is right now? Is that healthy for the nation? Is that healthy for the people? Is it healthy for development? Or should they sheath their sword, find a permanent and lasting solutions to this, and move forward as partners in progress? These are the issues we're looking at this morning. We have someone very competent to look at this, not only for the fact that he's a lawyer, but also he's a lawmaker in the Ogun State House of Assembly. I'm talking of Honourable Dotun Fasanya. You're welcome to the Daybreak Show.
Thank you very much, Tobi and Dele.
Well, Honourable, a whole lot of issues that we've touched here and there. Would you say that the country or the party has moved on from the issues that were generated from the emergence of Bukola Saraki as Senate President and Yakubu Dogara as Speaker of the House of Representatives?
Yeah, thank you very much. So far, so memorable. The emergence of Saraki and Dogara has not really helped the Nigerian democracy. And in a situation where we have a frequent friction between the legislature and the executive, it will only heat up the policy, and it is not even good to be in the news for wrong things all the time. So right from 2015 to date, we have been going from one friction, from one disagreement or the other. So this has heated up the politics to the extent that the citizenry too is a little bit confused that if things go this way, these people that we have elected, are they doing the right thing? Do they have our interest at heart? These are the questions that people have been asking. And if allowed to continue this way, well, I think it's going to take a whole lot from the fortunes of APC as a party. It's going to take a whole lot from the change mantra of APC. It's going to take a whole lot from the welfare of the people. I think it's an unbecoming situation which ought to stop.
Mr. Fasanya, now, do you think it will really be correct, or maybe I should ask, why do you identify Senator Saraki and Speaker Dugara as the problem? One, almost 2 years after they have emerged. Two, they are also members of the party at the federal government level. And three, there are over 300 members in the House of Representatives and over 100 in the Senate. So why do you think it is right to still continue to identify and blame these two individuals for the legislative, executive?
Thank you very much. The Yoruba will say, Abeokuta South, and you respond that Hisalenikewo. You see, this thing, the foundation was wrong. Don't forget that APC is an amalgamation of so many, about four parties, an amalgamation of so many interests, and it's a pooling of people that have been in government before, people from different political lineages, people from different political philosophies. So what we are witnessing now is really unexpected, because in APC we say party is supreme, but a situation where you now find one fraudulent way or the other to submerge uh, the, the the thinking of the party, then it will not go well. And if you look at what has been happening all this while, you will see that it goes to the foundation. And being the head, once you have the once you are there as the head, it's very easy to allow other to make other people, other colleagues of yours to follow your dictates, because you are there at the head, as the head. So
From your experience as a lawmaker, you are a two-term member now of the House of Assembly. Usually, what do you think is the cause of this friction between the Assembly and the Executive? To so many ordinary Nigerians, they'll say it's money. Is it really all about money or other issues? Because the Constitution has separated the powers and functions of the two. So, what usually do we have as the cause of crisis when it occurs?
Yeah, thank you very much. Firstly, it's money. Well, I would not deceive you. Money plays major role in issues between the executive and legislature, especially when it's touching on the welfare of the legislature. Money plays a major role, and you see legislators uniting when money or their welfare is involved. So you will see them talking in unison. You will see them acting in unison. It is at that time that you will have a whole house pointing, tilting towards the same direction. It is at that time that you will not have you will not see any party as opposition, you will not see any party as minority, you will not see anybody as opposition. Their interest, the interest of everybody will be matched together. So definitely, I'm not disputing that fact. It goes a long way in creating friction between legislature and the executive. But by and large, I think there are so many other situations, other causes, prominent among which is political. The one we are talking about is mainly political because it's a survivor instinct. The way they came to power as a speaker and as the president of the House of Reps and the and the Senate respectively, you know, brought some reaction from the executive too. You would remember that Saraki is facing a lot of corruption charges, and because of that, the Saraki and the other senators, other federal legislators also react, and this is the reaction that we are seeing now. The friction is already there. A lot of things have been done to settle the friction, but it has not helped the situation.
Now,
Really.
when you say that money plays a major role, would you say that this whole situation between the Buhari-led government and the legislative arm of government led by Saraki has to do with the president refusing to pay to play ball?
Well, I am not a senator, so I can't speak for the Senate. Uh, I only mentioned that just to confirm what you said, that money plays a major role. Yes, it does. It plays a major role. But I wouldn't say in this present circumstance, in this present situation, what is causing this friction is because of money or because Buhari has refused to play ball. It may be part of it, but I'm not competent to confirm or say otherwise. To confirm it or say otherwise.
Now, in the interest of the people, when you say money plays a major role, no doubt the welfare of the executive of the legislative is important, but should it be at the expense of the interest of the people, apart from that which we call selfish interest of the lawmakers and even the executive?
That is the crux of the matter. Money should not be placed over and above the welfare of the people which you are governing. The whole lot of people that you are representing there, they voted you in for good governance, not for you to make a whole lot of money out of them. So whenever the situation arises that you have to do things that will go a long way in improving the interest of the people, the welfare of the people, then you have to jettison your own personal interest and go a whole log to do it. You remember in Ogun State, our governor used to tell us that it is not good for the state to be in the news for wrong reasons. Because once you are in the news for wrong reasons, investors will not come. A whole lot of things that could have otherwise be earned by the state will not come. Even the IGR will be affected. So why will you now create a kind of situation that will drag investors away when we need them? Why would you create a kind of situation that will reduce our IGR when we need it? People need it. We need to pay salary. We need to do a lot of things. So instead of going into all sort of things that will give us bad image, that will misrepresent the state to the outside world. Why don't you just sit down around the table and resolve your differences?
Mr. Fasanya, I don't know how far or close you are from the scene, from events really in Abuja. But for public analysts and those of us who watch and report the news, we have been made to believe that President Muhammadu Buhari is also a problem on his own, that his inability to act decisively and promptly on several issues is actually the bigger cause of this problem. This appears to have been confirmed by the memo of Governor El-Rufai, blaming him for so many things and advising him to take some steps
Decisive steps.
in his own cabinet team. What are the feelings? What is your own understanding of this?
Yeah, thank you very much. You're not far from the truth. You're not far from the truth at all. And I feel that for somebody who is transitioning from a military head of state, into being a civilian president, a democratically elected president, I think he just wanted a situation whereby he would not having any influence on any arm of the government. I think that is what informed his silence, or his, leaving everything to the work of democracy. I'll give you examples. Look at the issue of Magu. Ibrahim Magu, the acting EFCC chairman. He was recommended. He was sent. His name was sent for confirmation to the Senate last year, and just in December, the Senate came up to say no, we are not confirming him. He's corrupt, and is this, is that. The reports from DSS is not favorable and things like that. Only for the presidency to come again and represent the name, in January, which the Senate just sat over and in the session and came up with rejection again. And one would have felt that in between that time, a whole lot of lobby could have been done between the executive and the legislature, and the Senate, to find a way out of this embarrassment. Because I see it as an embarrassment if the president believes in somebody as a substantive chairman of EFCC, and the legislature say no. First time, second time, then it shows us clearly that there's no synergy between the executive and the legislature. That is one. Two, talking about Hamid Ali, the control general of the Nigerian Customs. What has wearing uniform or no wearing uniform got to do with performance? Although the Senate has its point, but it's just like killing a fly with a sledgehammer. I think it's not what it is. It's an embarrassing situation. And I don't know why Hamid Ali too is so egotistical that he cannot wear customs uniform, an outfit that he is heading. So I don't know all those areas. I expected the presidency to have waded in one way or the other. Probably calling, calling on Hamid Ali to listen to what the Senate is saying. To wear, at least, even if you are not going to wear it to work or other places, going to the Senate, once Senate insists, you should oblige. One of the reasons why frictions happen between legislature and executive is when the dignity of the legislature is being infringed upon.
Could the health of the president be a factor in this, or simply people just overrated him before that 2015 elections?
Well, it could be like I explained before. It could be as a result of the health situation, but I think that one is not a good excuse, because he left an acting president. He handed over to an acting president who is the vice president. So it's just a matter of, and I know that they used to communicate while the president was away. So all that why I expected that something, a decision should have been taken. You see, the legislature sometimes needs a lot of lobby. If you want to push something through, see them one by talk to them, not necessarily by giving them money, but let them know they are important. Let them know how important how important they are, and how important what you want to achieve is. Go around them, let them know, let them feel you. But when you just dump something to them and you want to force them to approve it, then there's a problem. The dignity of the legislature sometimes matters. A kind of a situation where a minister will come and you will feel that, yes, after all, I have the presidency behind me, and because of that, say anything, act one way or the other, it doesn't not go well. It happened here in Ogun State, and you know what we did. You know how we reacted.
Yeah,
Now, okay. Now that you mentioned the issue of Ogun State, I want us to look at this context, this issue you're discussing in the Ogun State context. You've seemingly had a very peaceful and harmonious relationship with the executive in the state. Would you say that the main reason for that is because money has been able to grease palms of lawmakers in the state?
Well, we hear a lot of that, and our attitude is that, like Yoruba would say, ẹni tí ò jí kò ní sọ pé kí ó ní nǹkan kó má lọ. And sometimes when it's so annoying. Sometimes you don't have 25 kobo, 25 million kobo in your pocket or your account, and some people will go up there and say, "Hey, they just collected 25 million, they just collected 10 million." Sometimes I go there and I go to the speaker, "Mr. Speaker, where's my own 25 million? I learned that you have collected 25 million for each of us. Where's my own?" And sometimes we just make jest of one another there. Sometimes you are so broke that you cannot even afford to raise small money as small as 10,000, 20,000. And these people will go there to the social media, the places where they are discussing, and they say that, oh, they collected 10 million, they've collected 20 million, as if that money is paper. So I just laugh.
now let me.
I just laugh. I don't think the legislature has to collect money from the executive to do its job.
So, what would
We are
you
doing
say?
our job.
What would you say is responsible for this peaceful and harmonious relationship beyond money?
One is very very good executive legislature relationship. The governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Senator Ibikule Abosun, has been doing wonderfully well to stabilize the policy.
So what does that wonderfully well really mean?
Wonderfully well in terms of trying to see us as a part of the government. In terms of, okay, there's a kind of friction one way or the other, you will call us, explain to us, and tell us the reason why we must not allow the state to be heated up. And we take the advice, and we persuade one another to shield the sword. It's not as if underground we don't have issues. We do, but just that the issues are resolved before they become before they turn into before they get to overblown. Yes.
Now, Savannah, you are a lawmaker, a member of the APC. I'm taking you back to the crisis at the National Assembly at the federal level. We are aware of the crisis in the PDP, and so many things have been done and said about it. APC is the party in charge of the two arms of assembly. They have majority in the in the states, and then we are witnessing an inability of the legislative and federal government, the executive, to work together. Is it not an indication that APC is simply being tied together by shred ropes and sitting on the gunpowder waiting to explode?
Well, thank you very much. We must first acknowledge one fact, that membership of APC were drawn from Nigerian citizenship. And we should also remember that all these frictions are not just happening with APC government. They have always been part of the Nigerian, I mean,
In all honesty, PDP never had this kind of crisis until their stay was getting too long for Nigeria, for the comfort of Nigerians.
well, I,
PDP
I
crisis
don't want
has
to,
always been said and managed in the phrase of family affairs.
I don't want to join issues on that. But all I know is that it has always been like that with between the executive and the legislature. We remember what happened. What happened at that time too. The MPN did not want Wabara to become the Speaker of the House of Reps. We know how it happened, but I don't want to dwell in that because that is PDP matter. But as per APC, like I said the other time, APC is an amalgamation of so many interests, so many parties, and what we are seeing today is not uh, unexpected. It is not unexpected. All I know is that Rome was not built in a day. I know that by alignment and realignment here and there, I know APC will get it. Will get things right.
So you are expecting alignment and realignment
Alignment, realignment. Of course, when two elephants, when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. So the people cannot continue to suffer the brunt of the frequent clash between the legislature and the executive. As far as
it gets some Nigerians worried, really, because in just about 2 months, 2 days, it will be midterm for this government. And you and I know that next year is going to be more of politics than governance. So if by now the wife of the president has talked about this issue, a governor has talked about it, a respected national leader, Bola Tinubu, has mentioned it, and then at midterm, we are yet to see the realignment and alignment. Do you think APC's lifespan um, is not being shortened?
well, when I say realignment and realignment, I didn't mean trying to settle scores between clashing individuals, between fighting bodies. I didn't mean that. What all I meant is when you have alignment and realignment, people that are not fit in the scheme of things, they will find their way. Probably they will move out, or you know, just movement of people, movement of individuals, shuffling and reshuffling. This is just the first attempt of APC. I am not APC spokesperson, so
No, you
I
are
don't.
a leader
Uh,
in
I'm a
APC,
leader in
so
APC,
you
so
know
I'm
so
just
many
giving
things we
you.
don't know.
I'm talking here as an APC member, not an APC leader or
This
spokesperson.
movement in and out
It,
alignment, does it include the speculation about a mega party?
well, it is what I have had to. I don't have any idea how it's going to be. I don't have an idea who are behind it. I don't have an idea when it is going to take off. I don't know. But as a citizen of Nigeria and as an APC member, I have my ears on the ground, and I've been hearing a mega party is being
Proposed.
registered.
Okay, now let me take you back to the issue of lawmaking and how we do it here in Nigeria. In other climes, especially the US, which we are actually tailoring our democracy after, lobbying is allowed. And lobbying, you could do lobbying with different incentives to get your way, to get your policies supported, to get some laws and bills passed in the Congress. Would you say that it is the absence of lobbying as a legal being part of our laws that is hindering so many other that is hindering passage of bills, that is hindering implementation of budgets, and of of course, policies and programs of a government in the National Assembly, uh, and this continued demand for money.
Yeah, I like I said the other time, uh, lobbying is allowed, and like you have just confirmed too, it could be done through so many means. And you mentioned one of them. You said through money. Well, I don't believe in lobbying through money. It could be happening, but I don't believe in it. I think the best way to lobby people is to bring them together. Let them know the importance of what you are bringing to them. Let them know the implication on the people if it is not done. And if you can explain to them and you can convince them properly, I think they should do it if they have the interest of the masses at heart. And where I know of is Ogun State. Ogun State House of Assembly, once we believe in the project of the government, once we believe in its viability, once we believe that it is going to uh, improve the welfare of the masses, it is going to be in the interest of the people, why not? We go along to do it. We don't have to request for anything from the executive. We don't have to fight the executive. And for doing so, nobody should call us rubber stamp. We are just doing our job. For doing our job, we don't need anything. We don't need any form of payment or any form of illegal takings. Lobbying is when you come, probably through the commissioner, probably through the head of the agency concerned, to explain to us what your intentions are, how you want to go about it. Then we even look at the law, we look at even the request and see how we can modulate it, how we can amend it to suit the purpose of the people.
Now, Dele mentioned something earlier that really, when you say you have a 4-year mandate, you don't really have 4 years to really sit down and and perform and drive governance. At most, you have maybe just 1.5 years or 2 years to do that. Don't you think time is running out for your party, especially with the kind of disappointment the Nigerians are feeling having about your party at the center and the performance of the Buhari-led administration, and what it portends for all members of the party, especially those who are seeking re-election or election in 2019?
Well, uh, let me first correct one belief that if you sign in for 4 years time, that you maybe have 2 years to work. I don't believe in that. Even if it is even a day to your vacating office, you must still be seen as working. You must indeed be working. So I don't believe any political activity should hinder your work. We will sign in for 4 years, and your 4 years is 4 years, and we have to continue working until the last day. So I don't believe when sometimes I are listening to that, the first year you do this, you settle down. Why will it take you up to 1 year to settle down when you knew what you were coming in for?
But it took Mr. President almost 1 year to settle
Well,
because it took him more than 6 months to even set up his cabinet.
that is controversial. That is controversial, and we are drifting away from the main purpose of this discourse. Yeah, and I wouldn't want to say much concerning that.
Okay, but
Because
are you apprehensive for either yourself, your colleagues, and your party against 2019, going by all this rancor between the executive and the legislative arm of government, which is already also affecting the party by extension?
I'm very sure everything will be settled. Everything is going to be settled before very soon. Everything is going to be settled. Now, tell me which party is getting it right. Which party is getting it right? Even the ones that are supposed to form opposition, where are they today? What is happening among them? Not to talk of the ruling party. You know, when a party, when you have a ruling party, a lot of clashes will come because of interests of the people. Because of the interests people have, in governance, and because of that, it may, it may rock that party. So it now depends on how resilient the party is to weather the storm. and I
Now
believe that APC is going to get out of it. It is just at one. It's just there at the federal level, and it is in government between the executive and the legislature.
Okay, it's good you believe it will also be over. Quickly, before we take the break for the national news, what will you advise? What will your advice be? What will be your suggestion now as an immediate solution to the crisis between the national legislators and the executive? Because apparently it's affecting so many things.
Yeah, the major solution is dialogue. We continue dialogue. It's dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue.
At a point, we thought that was not because we'll see Dogara, Saraki at the Aso Rock Mosque.
It is
But
not.
at a point in time, they even told us they will be rotating it every month.
It is not a one-off thing. You know, when if you dialogue on a particular issue today, tomorrow another one may rear its ugly head. You still have to mediate.
Okay,
So
let me try and ask you: will the sacking of some people in Buhari's cabinet bring this to a close? Because those who believe that will say when he was away on the sick holiday, there was peace because there was no access, there was no control from these people. So would this be a solution?
that one was just the thinking, the opinion of some people that when it was away, there was peace. Now it has comes there. Of course, it's the rallying point. Once it's around, you expect a whole lot of people trying to get his attention. Although he left government for an acting the president in the person of the vice president, but he's still the real figure. So you should expect that when it comes, for example, the memo sending the name of Ibrahim Magu for Senate confirmation went since January. Why did they delay till March? So because they wanted the president to be around.
So it's not a sack some of these people we are hearing are constituting the problem.
My own opinion. If you are in the government where corruption is said to be zero tolerance, then anybody that is tainted, no matter how small, should get out of that government. That is my own take. So if somebody has been alleged of awarding contracts to himself, then that person has no place staying in the no corruption government. If somebody has been accused of taking money from people who want to see the president, taking bribe from them to enable them see the president, that person has no place, has no role to play in a no-nonsense government. So my own opinion, they should be relieved of their positions.
All right, so we'll take a break now for the national news at 10. After the national news, we will come back and continue our discussion. We're looking at the first relationship between the executive arm of government and the legislative arm of government. Should they continue in this rancorous situation, or should they begin to partner for progress and development? Honourable Dotun Fasanya will still be here in the studio. Stay with us.
I must say a big thank you to you for still being there listening to Rock City 101.9 FM Daybreak Show. It is the Citizens Forum this morning looking at the frequent rancor between the executive and the legislative arm of government at the federal level. And we have with us as our guest a lawyer, a lawmaker who's been going through this with us. Um, Honourable
Dotun
Fasanya,
representing Abeokuta South 1 state constituency. All right, we're sure you've been monitoring and, of course, itching to actually air your own opinion and views as regards the topic this morning. We can do this in 4 different ways. First, you can call our studio lines at 0809-868-7344 and 0909-146-967. You can also send your contributions as messages to the short code 32120. It's the short code. Just type ROCK, R-O-C-K, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120. Our social media accounts are also available on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is at RockCityFM. At RockCityFM. Just tweet your contributions. On Facebook, our Facebook fan page is Roxy FM 101.9. Just drop by and post your comment. Don't forget the rules. If you're calling, you have to turn down the volume on your radio set. Tell us your full name, your location. Go straight to the point. We expect you to do this in 2 minutes and allow others to also do the same. No attack on personalities, no coming up with claims you cannot substantiate. Make sure you state facts that you have. All right, let's go straight to the calls. Hello, good morning.
Thank you very much. I think the first caller, MOK from Ayodo, and he said the presidency should present another person other than Margot, because we have so many people that can do it, even do it better than Margot, instead of allowing Margot to cause a lot of controversy. And it is equally good. But my own reservation about this is that once that one is done, any other person that is brought either to act or to be a substantive the chairman of EFCC would not want to work as hard as maybe Magu has been doing, because he will be afraid, he will be scared, he might be timid to uh, to charge those people of any corrupt practices, for the fear of being sent away, or for the fear that he might not be confirmed by the Senate. But all well and good. I believe that I also believe that there are other people that can do it. If Magu is going to cause a lot of controversy, which the executive cannot stop, then I think it will be better to replace Magu with another person. Then talking to the people that matters, I've said it, that our leaders should come to the round table and see how they can bring an end to all these issues. To Dr. Unkom, I respect Dr. Unkom's opinion a lot, but sometimes it comes with a lot of abusive words against the person on the other side. For example, I just stated my opinion, so I never expected anybody to call my opinion a fallacy. However good his opinion was, I think the word fallacy, yeah, I take exception to that. I gave my opinion, and I'm still standing by my opinion. Nobody said president should start running helter skelter. Nobody said so. I did not say so. Can't remember I ever said so. Then, as a legislator, I know the importance of lobbying. Lobbying, when I said lobbying is part of the legislative activities. Before you can convince them that this thing you have to do it, you have to lobby them. It is part of all most of what we do in the legislature. It's about lobby. If I want to present, even me as a member, if I want my bill to pass through the House of Assembly, I have to lobby my colleagues. I have to tell them how important this bill is. I have to tell them what impact it will have on our good people. So to say that Buhari, the executive, cannot lobby the legislature is not it's not right. Then Honourable Larry Jaji, well, the executive and legislature also, it has always been there. Like I said, executive legislature, it has always been there. I said it when we were discussing the other time, even though Dele did not agree with me, but I said it has always been there, and it will forever be there. But we should not allow it to get to a stage when it is going to affect the citizenry that we are there to represent negatively, and that is just the solution to that. Then one Yinka also spoke about Saraki coming from the PDP. Probably that was why he has been behaving. So I wouldn't want to say much about that, because I don't want to malign anybody. But I also know that as a Nigerian, you have the right to join any party of your choice, freedom of association. Then on Ali, that Ali is performing, that he should stay if it's performing. Yes, everybody believes it's performing. The rot in the Nigerian custom has been so much. A Nigerian custom that will leave the borders and come to town and start chasing people all about. How did those groups enter? So it's like telling us that they had abandoned their duty post and allowed them or connived with those people to import. And at the end of the day, start chasing them all about. A lot of reformation is needed in the customs, and we need somebody who is strong. I'm talking about Ahmed Ali. He has a lot of antecedents. He was the military administrator of the of Kaduna State between 1996 and 1998. At that time, was reputed to have sacked 30,000 striking workers, and even on his order, 18 local government chairmen were arrested and detained. So that is how tough Hamid Ali is. But no matter what you achieve, no matter what you stand for, no matter how well-meaning you are, if ego if ego is comes with it, you will achieve nothing. Because I see it as ego. Why can't he wear uniform? You know that where you are going is a place that you have to wear uniform. You know that there's even prestige in wearing uniform, because it comes with belief in the organization that you are representing. So if you want to head that organization and you know that this organization is a uniform wearing organization, then you have to go all on. Otherwise, why did you accept it? So I take exception to that, and that is what the Senate is also hammering on. Why can't he just help Buhari by putting on that uniform and appearing before the Senate? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So I don't see it as just pride or just confidence. I will even use a worse word, temerity. It is too much, because it's just uniform, just little thing holding the whole nation to ransom. I don't really believe in that. So while I'm saying that, while I'm of the opinion that he's working hard to sanitize the Nigerian customs, it should also not bring pride or ego to constituted legislative arm of government. Then talking about El-Rufai's outburst about the against the presidency, everybody is entitled to his opinion. He has given his opinion, and I wouldn't want to tilt it one way or the other.
All right, let's check out the messages. This one says, what is happening between the legislature and the executive should not surprise avid watchers. It's like what the universe call Iruwa Ogiriwa. Strange bedfellows is just a case of the ruling party not in control, lack of party discipline. Well, I'm broke, I sent in that one. This one says, is there no how a right thinking person will not subscribe to a situation that money does not exchange hands between the legislators and the executive for these reasons. One, legislator refused to bring the governor to order on shoddy and negative attitude to civil servants. Talking of cooperative deductions and other benefits not paid. Two, sacked labor leaders. And then two, why can't the governor be asked to give details on all money so far borrowed? That's Ishola sending in that question. Honourable Fasanya should please explain more about what he called good working relationship with the executive, if not money greasing hand relationship. We know who all of you are before you become national cake eaters. All I know is that history will judge us all. APC is a party of all promises cancelled. Samson Oludele sent in that one. The problem is systemic, urgent replacement of the constitution by the people with reform of electoral system is the panacea. Cosmos sent in that one. Judiciary arm is known to be the obstacle on Buhari's corruption war. Usually delayed corrupt and criminal cases unnecessarily, adjournment upon adjournment with no judgment for years. It was only ex-governor Gelari that has been sentenced since 1999 and under Magu that has been declared not fit by lawmakers. Shame on our judiciary arm. Unfortunately, now legislators are blocking PMB to fight corruption. And Magu and Ali are recent examples. That's Kunle's opinion. Akimaba says PMB is surrounded by corrupt people. Nothing is done with them, but it is the only Senate. But only Senate is bad. 2019 is approaching. All right, keep the messages coming. Let's check our Facebook page. Okay, I think you quickly react to that while we to these messages.
Well, the first the message talked about why would we not have this problem between the executive and legislature, since they are Iruwa Ogiriwa, bots of the same father and things like that. Well, I think it is not right to generalize. It is not right to cast aspersion on the people that are holding a political position. You know, truly, many people may be misfit for various positions. But don't forget that our people also elected them. So if the people that elected them did not believe in them, they would not have elected them. There must be a reason why they were elected. So in doing their work, I don't see why I don't see why they cannot work without taking anything, or a kind of financial reward or whatever, apart from the normal things that they collect. So they say the second person spoke about truly, if the legislature in Ogun State is working, why did we refuse to bring the government to order? Why did he sack labor leaders and we did not say anything? Why did he, do this deduction issue and so forth? Well, maybe the person did not know that, wherever we raise, we move motions on the floor of the House of Assembly in which we advise the government one way or the other. Anytime that we have issues of public interest, somebody will move a motion, and all of us will discuss it, and at the end of the day we are going to make a resolution concerning it, and the same will be passed on to the government. That one has been done regularly. But the thing is, probably people that think we are not working don't monitor our activities. If they do, they will know that we discuss all these issues and we advise the government through our resolutions. Then Samson Oludele said the relationship between the executive and government, the executive and the legislature in Ogun State is good. How will it be good if not because of money? I think that is unnecessary, distraction, because it is not good to say things that you cannot substantiate, because we are elected and we are there to represent the people. So the the government requests for something that will benefit the people, we don't need to take anything to do our work, and we don't need to plunge the state into unnecessary controversies just because we want to take something from that government. It will not be in the interest of anybody, and I don't think it is right to also cast aspersion on the people that are there based on rumor that we read on social media, falsehood perpetrated by people of the opposite divide, for whatever reason, for whatever they want to benefit. It is not right to help them in peddling that rumor. Like I said here, there are so many times we do our work conscientiously as what we have elected there to do. And before anything happens, you start seeing a lot of write-offs on the social media that they've collected so much, even at a time that you are not even have enough on you. So sometimes it's annoying, and to even bring that one to this level, I don't think it is right. Then that there's delay on corruption cases. Well, it is possible, and this one could be explained away by the fact that those people that are charged on corruption cases, they also have the right to uh, defend themselves, and they bring in lawyers, and uh, lawyers too want to defend them, and maybe you want to file in one thing or the other. Maybe you need time to study some processes from the other side. Then you need time, and you apply for more time, and you adjourn, and so on and so forth. Those are the intricacies of law cases, and that is why we usually have delay. We don't have enough courts to handle this, and that was why at that time, if you recall, the presidency wanted to create a special court to hear corruption cases. So far we are still using uh, the normal judicial system, the normal court system. The delay associated with so many cases will also is also affecting corruption cases. Then that PMB is surrounded by corrupt people. Well, so far so good. Well, I wouldn't want to confirm that. That is the person's opinion. But at the same time, I wouldn't say it is outrightly a falsehood, because we have seen examples here and there.
All right, let's take a few more calls. Okay. Let's see. We can still take about two. Hello.
All right, this message from Oladushu says what's happening at the National Assembly is a metaphor of power show and democratic development. We need Mago now than ever if we are not to castrate the FCC and ridicule the presidency. Okay, Kalali Joseph, your message is noted. This one says, sir, kindly look up the non-legislative meaning of fallacy. It is not abusive or disrespectful. It means mistaken belief. That's coming from Dr. Uncom. If Ali's appointment is temporary as likely, he may not need to wear uniform as an outsider and not custom staff. Cosmo sent that. The issue of certificate concerning Mr. President has been settled transparently. People should be properly educated. Margo is very competent for the job. Most senators are not credible. The custom boss is an appointee, just as the senators. But the people do your job. Stop the uniform saga. Fabumi from Illyria. This one says, uh, to the guest of the studio, it is unfortunate for our democracy if the executive has to be lobbying legislative arm on every issue that is benefiting to the common man. Also, why lobbying a member? Why lobbying if a member is presenting a bill that is of the benefit to the people, if truly the lawmakers are not corrupt and have masses' interest in mind? This and that. Akin says it is now uh, ripe for this station to warn some of your callers not to turn this platform to a theater room. We are very disciplined here. Okay, thank you for your message. This one says, okay, this is a tweet from Kushimo, Dr. Kushimo. Oh, we watched as cats and rats were put in charge of our pots of soup, no matter how good. PMB is constrained in running this government. That's Dr. Kushimo. Um, Yemi Da Vinci says President Buhari is the cause of this fiasco when he should have listened to seasoned politicians like Bola Tinubu over Saraki. He didn't. I still maintain that the real issue is that of the CPC versus ANPP cabal surrounding President Buhari. They take inimical decisions on on. Okay, let's ask ourselves why hasn't the DSS, DG, the SGF, and along been sacked for insubordination, corruption, and ineptitude? Buhari is really messing up. Wasi Rahim says, I don't know why APC supporters on this platform are crying wolf on Sarki's issue because when he defected to APC, he was good, but now he's not. Surakat Abiodun says PMB should try and lobby the National Assembly as regards all issues concerned and tell those he is presenting to follow the necessary protocol. Rahim Wasiu says once again, I think I will get to a stage. Um, okay. Surakat Abiodun says, let the Honourable tell us how soon Maltech is coming on board and the establishment of Mapoli at Ikpokia. Okay. So I can't Abiodun trying to take us beyond out of what we're discussing.
Sorry, I could take
Your
it
reaction.
but unfortunately we are getting set to leave.
Yeah. Thank you very much. The first one came from Kayode Olumide from Abeokuta, that is talking about the fact that Buhari is good, but that the Senate has been the stumbling block towards his performing. That they will put all of them out in 2019. Well, my response to that, is that the power belongs to the people, and the people can vote and can also vote people out. So let's leave everything to the hands of the people with their, with their votes, and it's not good for just one person to
Take decision
to
for
take
everyone.
decision for the entire people of Nigeria. Then why should Buhari lobby that that he should continue to represent Magu? Well, uh, like I said the other time, probably people misconstrued what I said about lobby. The lobbying is part of the process. Lobby is not that it's going cap in hand to beg. No, it's
Can just
just
move on.
it's
Don't
just
let
a
us.
matter. Yeah,
Maybe another time
it's just a matter of just
because of that lobbying is
let's
a parliamentary. It's a
parliamentary thing.
parliamentary
It's a
instrument.
parliamentary process.
It's a parliamentary instrument
So
all over the world.
like let me the same
Because
question.
signals
So why
are
lobby
getting
if
to
a
us
member
to.
if a member is presenting a good bill, you have to tell them what the bill is about. You have to tell them how well it is going to impact positively on the people. You could that just don't give them some people. Some may not even read it well to understand it. So you have to let them know. So that is the essence of lobby. Then Mr. Olakelani said he salutes the president Buhari, but pity him that he also said Ogun State House was there because this of rubber stamp
All right,
legislators.
we unfortunately will
that
not be
is
able
also
to take all
controversial.
responses. Signals are on that we are at the point where we must leave. We appreciate everybody who will be a part of it, of listening, who send in many messages and contributions. And yes, we also have to thank Assemblyman Dotun Fasanya for hitting to our call, joining us this morning. We say a big thank to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Dele Ayodo is my name. God bless you all. God bless Nigeria. God bless Rock City.
I'm Tobi Joseph. Have a wonderful day.